This video might have a controversial opinion, but I came across a meme on Facebook that I want to talk about. I know, a meme. It says, when you're in a position to help someone, help them. The universe may just be answering their prayers through you. While I don't wholly disagree with the principle, I think that it can be a very dangerous and very problematic sentiment. And it's one that I think is generally ingrained in many of us because it sounds so nice. It aligns with many religious teachings, it aligns with Jesus' words. Uh, only horrible, greedy, selfish people would disagree, right? In this video, I'm going to argue the opposite. And that might offend you, but giving too much help to someone can hurt both you and them. And towards the end of this video, I'm going to share some metrics that help me to weigh each situation on an individual basis when someone asks for help or you see a need. But first, let's talk about what's actually wrong with this idea that if you can, you should, in terms of helping others. And the first is like, what defines being in a position to help? Is it if I have all my bills paid and have some money left over, I can help? Or is it, I technically have money in my account or in my wallet, but I'll be short on rent if I help, but I still should? Is it if you have an emergency fund and someone needs money, you destroy your emergency fund? Do you only give out of extra abundance if you have, a solid savings and money in your bank? And if you're wealthy, do you give away all your wealth? Like, where's the line? How does this play out? And I get that this probably seems like splitting hairs to some of you, and maybe it is, but when you were raised in a religious fundamentalist kind of environment, those hairs actually matter. And like the same is true with time. Like, how much of your time do you give? If you technically, you're working two jobs, you're exhausted, but you technically have a few hours to, give to the local food bank or, do whatever, but you're just exhausted inside. But technically you can do it. Should you do it? I really want to explore both sides. There's always the financial, but then there's also the time and the energy aspect of things. In Matthew 19:21, Jesus told the rich man, quote, "If you want to be perfect, go sell your possessions and give to the poor, and you will have treasure in heaven. Then come, follow me." And of course, the rich man went away sad because he had great wealth. So if you take this literally, there is no limit. There is no line. If you want a reward in heaven, you give away everything. Of course, more moderate takes on Christianity will either take this in a metaphorical way or will say, Jesus was just making a point and didn't actually mean it. If that's your interpretation, honestly, it's a lot healthier than the one that I embraced kind of in a subconscious way, and maybe even a conscious way in religious fundamentalism. And if you have kind of been stuck in that fundamentalist state, people are going to try and use that kind of logic against you. I've been in situations where believing that there is no limit, there is no line, if I technically can, I should. Even if money was tight, when money was tight, I gave money to people who were asking for it. And then I was stressed, I was regretful, I was angry because I didn't have the ability to cover my own needs. And it was really, really bad. And I became kind of honestly a person that I didn't particularly like because I was so upset and angry and frustrated. And like, I genuinely, sincerely hope that most of you watching this just think, holy crap, this guy is a freaking idiot that he would do that. And have never found yourself in kind of the weird psychological trap of your own mind and kind of your own conscience feeling like, well, I can't really afford to help them, but if I don't, I'm a terrible person because technically I can. And let me be clear here before I continue. Kindness, generosity, lifting people up who are struggling can be a really beautiful thing, but it needs to have limits and boundaries that you yourself set on it, particularly within you. And also, sometimes with them as well. If you can, you should is a vague and dangerous idea in my view. The way that I've personally shifted that idea in my life to be able to remain kind and generous within my means is if it won't harm me and has the potential to make a significant impact in one or more people's lives, then I'll help. I have a few metrics that I use when deciding if I can or should help someone and if it fits that criteria. And number one is, can I truly afford to lose this time and money without damaging my own life? This is pretty straightforward. If, an individual or a charitable organization is asking for help, what is my state? What is my financial state? Are my bills covered? Do I have my own emergency fund? Do I have savings? If I give X amount of money and suddenly lost my source of income, will I be okay? Will I look for a new job or for new clients? If the answer is no to these questions, then now is not the time for generosity because it could lead me in a bad situation. And likewise, if someone is asking me to donate my time and my talent for a cause, I need to weigh some factors. What's my fatigue level like? What is my schedule looking like? What other obligations and commitments have I made? Am I at risk of burnout? Am I at risk of getting sick if I add more to my plate? This, isn't as easy to empirically measure as anything financial, but we've all got a pretty good internal sense of these things. At least certainly I do, and I presume most of you do as well. And, if it isn't going to leave me in a good place, then it's not something that I can commit to. And sometimes that's easier said than done, but it's something I'm working on. And number two is, what's the potential short and long-term impact? Now, this one can also be tricky as, we can't see the future, but sometimes there are factors that we do know and can weigh to kind of get a gauge of this. If it's someone we know asking for help, we can think back on their track record. Have you or others given them assistance in the past and they wasted it and their life didn't change for the better? Did they take that assistance and multiply it and do amazing things with it, get back on their feet in the past? The same questions apply to organizations, charitable organizations. What impact have they made on their communities or the people that they're trying to help in the past? How much is going to administrative costs versus actually to the people in need? What's their level of transparency? What's their strategy? And do they have a proven model of making a positive and tangible difference for people that lasts, that actually sticks? I look at it many times in kind of the old proverb, give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day. Teach a man to fish, he'll eat for a lifetime. And sometimes giving a man a fish is necessary if it gives him kind of like the strength and the mental clarity to learn to fish. Sometimes people are in such tough situations that they need immediate support before they can get to a point where they can really kind of make bigger changes in their lives. But, making sure that you're forward looking and those that you're helping support are forward looking to make sure that there is a drive for the people that either you're helping directly or helping through an organization to get on their feet, that there is a plan to move people forward and you're not just kind of like wasting your time or your finances on people who just want continual handouts forever. I've helped a lot of people with my time, with my money over the years, and I've really been able to see the difference, and it's huge. If you meet, let's say, a homeless person on the street corner, it can be tough to make a judgment call. In those cases, I'd really lean on principle number one in kind of making that judgment call because you're not going to really be able to know. But in cases where, maybe again, it's like a friend or a family member who is struggling, look at their character, look at their actions, look at their words. Are they making an effort to fix their own life? Are they working? Are they applying for a job? Are they strategizing? Making plans? Are they forward thinking? Or are they just sitting around blaming everyone else? Are they constantly making excuses for themselves? Are they acting lazy? Are they making, no or minimal efforts to get their lives together themselves? If I see that type of pattern, it's likely going to be just a waste of money. And, honestly, I've wasted a lot of money trying to help people of that mindset before I realized how damaging that was. But I've also spent a lot of money, helping people who have made the most of it and have changed their lives. And the third principle is, do I want to help? This is, in my mind, probably the least important of the three principles and probably the most controversial, but also it's very, very important. Like, if I don't want to help somebody for any reason, I generally don't. Maybe I get a weird vibe from them. Maybe something just feels weird and off, and maybe I have other people or causes that I want to support and I'm committed to supporting more. Maybe how they asked rubbed me the wrong way. Maybe it's just not a cause I believe in. It doesn't matter the specifics. If I don't feel happy about it, I won't do it. And, chances are my unhappiness might relate back to principles 1 or 2 even. And maybe it would put me in a bad situation, or maybe I just don't see it having a positive result and don't want to do it. And let me say this to you, because I wish someone had said it to me. It's okay not to help everyone who asks or who is in need. You literally can't help everyone. You worked for your money. You deserve to take care of yourself first. You deserve to be okay. And if you don't want to help a particular person or an organization, you are not obligated to. You literally cannot help everyone. Let me say it again. You literally cannot help everyone. And it's okay to choose who you want to help, how you want to help, how much you want to help, and when you want to help. And, people might get mad if you don't want to help them, but that's not actually your problem. Someone's anger doesn't make you a bad person. If someone says you're a bad person, that doesn't make you a bad person. Someone making poor choices in their life and getting themselves into a bad situation that you don't help with does not make you a bad person. Not helping an organization that for whatever reason you don't align with does not make you a bad person. Not having enough finances or time or energy to help doesn't make you a bad person. You can treat someone with dignity even in the event that you choose not to help them with your time or your finances or whatever they want, but you're genuinely not obligated to help everyone or honestly, even anyone who asks. It's a boundary that you have a right to as a happy and a healthy person. Now, I do also want to clarify here before ending this video that I am not saying, be an Ebenezer Scrooge and hoard all your money and don't ever give your time. That leads to an empty and a sad life. But you deserve to truly be in control of who you help and when you help them. And, unless you're Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk, you probably have a finite amount of resources, and it's not mean or cruel to pick and choose how you spend them. That's called wisdom. I hope that you got some value out of this video, even if you maybe didn't agree with me. If you did get some, consider hitting the like button, consider subscribing for more of my thoughts, and let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below.